Dead by Daylight developers have just teased the next chapter. Or at least that's what I think. Understandably, many of you are excited for the next chapter, because the next chapter is pretty mysterious. We know that it's licensed, but we don't know what license exactly it will be. So guys, let's talk about the possible teaser. But before that, smack that subscribe button or I will smack your mom's butt. Okay guys, so first of all, this is a little bit off topic, but I find your mom sexually attractive. And also, I just watched the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Don't worry, I won't spoil anything, but the beginning of the movie was pretty meh, but eventually the movie got more interesting and overall it was very enjoyable to watch Five Nights at Freddy's, except in the cinema there was this guy sitting behind me and he was constantly singing this. And I wanted to tell him this.
You need to shut the fuck up!
But he just kept singing. Like, guys, when you are drunk, please don't go to the cinema, because what the fuck? Anyway, guys, I didn't think that FNAF would be coming for the chapter 30, and do I think that FNAF is coming for the chapter 30 right now after watching the movie? No, I don't think that FNAF is the next chapter. In fact, now I don't believe that FNAF is the next chapter even more after watching the movie. It's because I don't see this chapter coming into Dead by Daylight without a new map. We need the new map if we get FNAF chapter. I mean, whatever the fuck you want to pronounce this place. Pizzeria is a very, very cool place. It's such a cool place, and like why the fuck would they only bring Springtrap? And we know that the next chapter will only contain the new killer. No map, no survivor, so I don't see this chapter being the FNAF chapter. Also, I think that it would be fair and logical for them to bring the new survivor, Mike, with the FNAF chapter, but yeah, I just don't see it happening because we are only getting the killer. But I want it to happen because after watching FNAF movie, I would rate that movie a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. It's a pretty fun movie, and honestly, if it was FNAF chapter, I would be happy about it. I would be totally excited for it, especially now after watching the movie. Like, as soon as I came back from the cinema, I swear to God, as soon as I came back home, I downloaded the original FNAF game and I was playing it for like a solid hour or 2. Okay, but let's not talk about FNAF anymore because I don't think it's the next chapter. Let's talk about the possibilities for the next chapter. So initially I thought that Candyman would be the next killer, and I was almost 100% sure that it would be Candyman because everything lines up. I mean, the actor who plays Candyman, he had worked for other video games before. Spoiler alert, but Candyman doesn't really have a survivor who truly survives without being affected in a negative way. I don't want to spoil you anymore, but you know, it makes sense for them not to bring any survivor with this chapter, and also Candyman doesn't really have any memorable map. On my other video, I saw a bunch of you commenting that Candyman is actually not a big license, but I want to disagree. Candyman is a big license that the majority of newer people, like from the younger generation, actually don't really know about. But if you ask your parents, your grandparents, if they really liked horror back in the 80s, like, they definitely know what is Candyman. And it's not that big of a license when we compare Alien, for example, with Candyman. Alien is much bigger license overall, but Candyman is definitely a well-respected franchise among all of the most popular horror franchises. The same could be said about Pennywise. It's a very big license. Bringing only the killer is perfect since there are way too many survivors in the franchise. I mean, it's possible to bring like 2 of the survivors with Pennywise, but why would they do it if the most iconic part part about It franchise is the clown itself. Also, there is no iconic map in the franchise of It. So it's possible that Pennywise is the next killer, and honestly, I would be very, very excited if it was Pennywise. Now, probably the most popular guess is that the next chapter will be Predator. It makes sense. Predator and Alien got the same license holders, and Predator is a character that would fit Dead by Daylight perfectly. Also, this year is kind of a sci-fi year for Dead by Daylight. Think logically. At first, we got a sci-fi killer, the Skull Merchant. I know everybody hates this killer, but then after that, we got another sci-fi killer, the Singularity. After that, we got another sci-fi killer, the Alien, and now we are supposed to get the last killer of the year for Dead by Daylight. So it would make sense that if they began with the sci-fi killer, why wouldn't they want to end it with the sci-fi killer? Just remove Predator out of the way. Now, something really suspicious is that Dead by Daylight developers said that they will do the stream for the next chapter, and if it's Predator, then that stream would definitely disappoint most of us. Because we all expect it to be Predator, and it would not be really a surprise if it was Predator. So that's kind of a little bit sus, and that's the reason I don't believe it will be Predator. Not to mention, I don't see how they would only bring the killer without any survivor with Predator. So that's why I don't think that it's Predator, but it's definitely possible and very likely that the next chapter is Predator. But what if I told you that the next chapter might not be what we all expected it to be? Because on October 27th, that was the day when most of us expected to get the first teasers for the next chapter. Dead by Daylight posted this on Twitter. "You wake up in this room, what do you do? #Saw." And they attached two pictures taken directly from the Gideon meat plant. The question is, why out of a thin air they decided to post something related to Saw? Why wouldn't they post one picture of this location? Why would they post two pictures of the same room? And I mean, it's very weird, you know? And I thought about it, and this might be Saw Part 2. We already got the pig as a killer from Saw, but the original killer, the main character who is the antagonist in the Saw franchise, is actually not Amanda. And we got Amanda, also known as the pig in Dead by Daylight, but John Kramer is the main mastermind behind all of the Saw traps. What if John Kramer is finally coming into Dead by Daylight? And I mean, it doesn't matter if the person is dead or alive, the entity can take people from any moment in the past, you know what I mean? So it all makes sense, and it would make sense for us not to get any survivor or any map with the next chapter if it's Saw Part 2, because we already got the map from the Saw. We already got Gideon meat plant, and also we got the survivor, Detective Tap. Not to mention that it's a very big license, you know, Saw is one of the most popular horror franchises out there, but the real question is, do people really want Saw Part 2? The answer is no. People are not really hyped up about it, and I mean, I really like Saw, at least the first 3 Saw movies, and I can see the new Saw chapter being there as the promotion for Saw X, which is the new Saw movie, and you know, Saw X fans can finally realize that there's a game with Saw characters, so they might be interested in playing Dead by Daylight. It's good for business, but you know, it's not what people want to see. People want to see, you know, something bigger, something like It, Predator, FNAF, something like Candyman. People are going crazy with these theories, and you know, if we got Saw Part 2, yeah, it would be unexpected, it would be a surprise, but I don't think that many of us really want it. Many YouTube content creators for Dead by Daylight don't believe that it's the teaser for the next chapter. They think that it's more like a teaser for the upcoming new Saw skins, but Dead by Daylight posted something else related to Saw today on their Twitter page. It was like the pig chasing a survivor, and yeah, I'm thinking, why the fuck would Dead by Daylight post this like out of a thin air? Like seriously, it makes sense to get a Saw Part 2 chapter because we only get the new killer with this chapter, and it's actually a big L, even though we already have Saw in Dead by Daylight, so it wouldn't be exciting. I really hope that it's not Saw Part 2, because we need to see something bigger, because we are excited as fuck for this chapter. Like, there are no leaks, nothing, and we are just speculating, predicting. This is my third video predicting who will be the next killer, so let's hope this is not a teaser and we will get something like fucking FNAF, and it will make that I'm wrong, or Candyman, or I don't know. We could get something even bigger than that. You know, comment your predictions. I always read all of your comments, and I will respond to most of them. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next Dead by Daylight video. Ciao.